Okay, so once again having trouble with the Mini Cooper here. It is a crank, no start scenario. That's what they call it. So the car will crank, but it just won't start. We were away on holidays, and as things will go, son tried to drive it, drove it one day, it was fine, drove the next day, no start. So who knows what happened in between those times. But anyways, I'm going to plug in this, I have a very basic reader here that I use. I'm going to plug that in first, which I always do. And get that plugged in up there, way up there. I'll call Rusty. Then, okay, bear with me here while I get things sorted, as usual. And we'll get in the tight little Mini Cooper. Well, that's between my legs. And put the key in here. It's a little dark in here, of course, but get things sorted here. There we go. Okay, so here's what we got. We will wait for this to start up here. As you can see, waiting for the vehicle to respond. So it's probably not going to do anything because it's not started, but you should at least get a setup scenario. So it won't be able to read any codes from the car running unless they're stored in there, which I don't think there are any. Going to be stored. So waiting for it to respond. Seems to be going through things. Loading error. Okay, so that's what happens. Gotta try it again. So let's press that, start again, and then I'll try start it. This is what happens. Just keeps doing that. It'll keep cranking, keep cranking, keep cranking. So what's that? No spark or no fuel for sure. Don't even have a check engine light on there. And okay, so it looks like it read the codes from trying to start. So let's read those here. Read codes on the engine. Reading the codes. No codes, so that doesn't help us. No codes are stored, and we're not going to get any freeze frame data either. So go back to the engine. Oops, should have gone back. No codes. Got that already. Okay, let it go back. Go to previous menu. Read codes, erase codes, live data. Let's see if there's not going to be any live data. See if there's any freeze frame data on the engine side. It's reading. And no freeze frame data. So no data at all. That's not going to help us. So let's turn that off for now. And we'll go around to the engine side. That down there for now. And so what do we got here? So we got, we could check spark. We could check cam position sensor. I heard those can go on these cars. Usually though with the cam position sensor, when you try to start it, you would see you wouldn't see anything on the tack. So let's give that a quick try again. I didn't actually notice that when I was cranking it. So let's try that, see if there's any movement on the tack when I crank it. So ignition on. See if you see any movement on the tack there. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, so if it's got movement on the tack, not likely the camshaft position sensor. So let's get you set up here on the tripod and let's start taking a look around in here. I got a few tools out already. So first thing we should do, if double check this cam position sensor here. Let's get you zoomed in there. All the way in as usual, and I'll call Rusty. That's the cam position sensor right there. Come on, get a position sensor. Should come out just like that. Up or down, one of there it is. Okay, so the ignition is on. I'll pull this out a bit. and we should have some reading there. So let's turn the, so you guys can see this, let's turn this on to 20, and let's see if I can't put that here somewhere while I'm probing that. Get both in there at the same time. Okay, so generally middle is going to be ground, but might have to jump around here to figure it out. So if the middle is ground, we get any reading at all. One side, nothing. That back on there. Other side. Doesn't look like we get much on either side. Should have 4 or 5 on one side. There you go. So on one side we got the base reading 4.90, should be close to 5 apparently. So that's the base reading. Now if we were to crank it over, actually we should have 12 volts here, but not getting anything there. So either that'll go to 12 when you crank it, or it should have 12 right now. And then you can test the position sensor as well. You could pull that out and ground it, and if you were to touch it to something metal, that should go to 0. This reading here should go to 0, but this particular plug, there's no way to get to the back of it to probe it while you have it on there. The wires are completely encased, so we're going to hope it's not that right now, but we're going to go downstream, and let's just, you know what, let's just take that off and see. Drop any of these nuts and bolts in the engine. Okay, so there's cam position sensor out. Zoom in there again. That's what it looks like. And this, when the cam comes up and touches it, it would ground it out and tell it when it's touching. So there you go. So if it touches something metal, it goes to 0. And if I take that metal off there, oh, now it's going to stay at 0. But as you remember, it was at 4. Took the current away from it. So let's leave that there. And we're going to go to the fuses. Point there. And we'll check our fuses here on the other side. So you can see we got continuity there. Let's just bring this up a bit. There you go. I think that actually is the fuse, the top one, from what I read earlier. But let's just go down quickly and check both sides of each. So if there was one that wasn't lighting, we could check and see which that was. And if it was anything to do with engine or engine management or power to the engine, we could check that. It all seemed good on both sides. And this key one here, I believe, is for the cam position sensor or coil, one or the other, but engine running. Okay, so let's take out this relay here, supposedly the relay for the coil. Man, they're hard to get out. Come on, there we go. Okay. So that's the coil relay. If one of these were bad, could be an issue. So let's again take our trouble light and probe these here. Should have power. Yeah, there's probably the main power. You can see the light on. And that one's no power. No power on that side. No power on that side. Oh, my ground came off. Gotta always watch that. Ground popped off. Not a very good way to troubleshoot. Oh, look at that. So we got power here. So this one's probably the control, the 12 volts that comes into the relay, because it's on that flat pin side right there. And then this is output 12 volts, and then that's one of these should be the switch over to the other 12 volts. So the thing is on. If I cranked it, one of these should get 12 volts. Now if the relay was bad, you should be able to use a jumper wire. Use this little jumper wire here to jump across from the 12 volts to one of the ones that doesn't have power right now, and see if that changes anything on the cranking. So I'm going to put this jumper wire in the 12 volt side there, and on that side there. Let's crank it and see if we get anything. Make sure nothing's going to fall off here when I do. Alright, so let's listen to it, see what we get. Put on the brake. See if that changes anything. Bypassing the relay like that. Well, I wanted to start there, and we got full jumping on the RPM on the bar. We have a reading at the cam position sensor. So we have power at these two relays. We have no change when we jump the relays. Now, the only other thing I could do testing relay wise, as most people know, is swap these. Okay, that's the same kind of relays. Alright. Relay swap. No change there. Unlikely scenario that both those relays are not good. Very unlikely. Let's see what the part number is on these. We have a GF25, GF25, PA66. So the exact same kind of relay. So that's definitely not the issue. Okay, ruled out the relay. I'm going to say it's a fuel issue, because we've ruled out position sensor and spark. Did we rule out spark? We can rule out that pretty quickly here. Let's see, one of these. So what you have to do on the Mini is that each of these coils, it's a 3-wire coil, supposedly same as a 4 2-wire coil, and so it has a common ground on each of them, black, black, black. And then there's a common power, which they seem to be all different colors. No, there's a green, 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 light green. And then there's a different color, one different color, which is here red, yellow, blue, and white. So that different color one should light up when you turn it over. So let's connect something in there, see if we can't get a reading on those. I'm going to put that up there so I can see it that way. I'll bring you guys over this way, see if you can read it this way. Zoom in. You can tell me if it works. Get a reading. Oh, I can see that there. See anything, did you? Not sure if I have that wire all the way into that coil. Okay, so I just went back and did a little more research, and this here is for the fuel pump. This green one here, fuel pump. So I'm going to pull that one out, and actually I'm going to get my son to turn. No, that's my wife. Sorry. Funny. I'm going to get you to turn that thing on and see if I can hear it click. Because this is the actual fuel relay is here.
Push that.
Yeah, just push the button, don't try to start it. Just take the key out and then put it back in. Yeah, I don't get anything. I don't hear any clicks or anything here. Okay, so I'm going to jump this with a wire and see if that's the relay that could be. Look at that. You hear that? Come here. This is the fuel pump relay. This side has power all the time. The other side is to turn it on and off. Was there one? Looks like the same. Let's swap it out. And this is what happened when troubleshooting at home doesn't pan out. $200 for a tow, and let's see how much it costs to fix it in the city. Yeah, it looks like it's just gonna, if you keep it on that angle. Yeah. You got her. Damn fuel. It's full of water. And there's ice. There's a big chunk of ice in there. I picked up the funnel and it came up with this huge oval piece of ice. Like it's easy enough. We could lift it up. It's easy enough just to longer wrench. There's a couple of things you can do. Don't move. Can you grab me a rag or a paper towel? Okay, take the cap off the top of the engine. That's air in it. Kilometers. So everybody knows how online everybody has an opinion about filters, and most people have a bad one about Fram. This Fram filter is the most expensive of the three types, and it offers, look at that, 20,000 mile protection. Interesting, see how it looks. That's how you can tell when you do the oil test. It tells you. Yeah, start up for a few seconds. 10 seconds. Check for leaks. So now you always check for leaks. Go on a leak, make sure there's nothing leaking from the oil filter or the plug. is our rust paint. The magic of Pour 15. Pour paint over rust. Butane lighter and push butane into there, and the butane is heavier than air, so the butane will sit right on top of the paint in there, any paint, you can use this for any paint, and will stop the regular oxygen and nitrogen from reacting with it and making it hard. So you can keep it in the fridge, which will make it last for like a year, in a sealed container, or put butane in there. Don't like the butane, just put the butane gas in there. Before we go, white trim clad rubber. Same time, so it never leaks anywhere. You can never find a puddle or drips, but over months, look at that, so much antifreeze is gone from there. And plus, we just filled up the overflow tank, and it's not even full yet. There you go. Oh, that's funny. My eyes. That side actually, maybe it'll come out. Looks like it might come out better. I don't know. This is the actual pour side for baby oil, baby water. Let's see how it comes out. Oh. Oh, you gotta have somebody come up. The truck comes and looks away. Ready for that? Big recycling depot. Right through a bunch of filters. Oh!